welcome back to the Accidentally Intentional podcast. I'm excited, guys. I brought my friend, who I also consider to be my personal trainer, onto the podcast today. Her name is Deanna Dicesere. She is a group fitness instructor who is really in the thick of the Pittsburgh fitness scene. You can catch her at a Ramp and Rise class if you live near the Swickley area in Pittsburgh. And she also has started her own online fitness platform and program called Empowered, which I've actually been part of all of 2021 so far. Let me tell you, it's incredible. It hurts so good. And I just think Deanna is so incredible, and you're gonna see why for yourself here real soon. Today we're discussing how to not let physical limitations hold you back. Now, I was specifically interested in this because this is something I've been battling mentally ever since I got an injury as a stunt performer 5 years ago. But let me tell you, whether you are a new mom, an injured athlete, someone who maybe has a physical handicap of sorts, or maybe you just haven't made physical health and fitness a priority recently, I honestly believe today's episode is for everyone. Because maybe it's not physical limitations that hold some of us back, but boy, we can say that the mental limits do hold us back all the time, and we're unpacking all of it in today's episode. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking. I wanna jump right into it. Let's go. Here's my conversation on how to not let physical limitations hold you back with my friend and my personal trainer, Deanna Dicesere. What's up, guys? Welcome to another Accidentally Intentional episode. Deanna Dicesere in the house. We need a lot of Drake sounds during this episode.
I need like a soundboard.
Yes, we do. Can we get the soundboard? There's nobody else in here. So that's where we're at.
Just post.
Yes. So Deanna, I brought you on today because you are someone that has always inspired me. And I just told people that you're my trainer. So you whoop my into gear all the time, getting them Gainesville, USA because of you. You know what it do. We need to chill out. We're already being too wild to start this out. Yeah. But so basically, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see what makes Deanna special. If you can't, Deanna, I want to first start by having you share your story as to what it is on your body that makes you special, because today we're talking about how to not let physical limitations stop you, and you have embodied that to every degree in your life so far.
Thanks. So hi guys. And I was born with I don't even know what you would call, not disability. I don't call it disability.
Okay.
But I mean, you can. It's called amniotic band syndrome, and it is just little fibers in the amniotic sac while I was growing that they could attach to fingers, toes, legs, anything. And so it attached to right below my elbow and caused my arm to stop growing. So I have full movement of my arm, but I just don't have all the way to my forearm and into my hand. And so that was something I dealt with my whole childhood, and I'm still dealing with, but it's come to a point where a lot of my friends, family, everybody kind of forgets, which is funny. Mm-hmm. But that is something I attribute to my family and especially my parents, because I have an older sister. So she's 3 years older than me. They already had a kid under their belt, and they let me just go. They didn't, oh, you can't do that. Oh, that, how are you going to do that? It was just go and do it. And if you get hurt or whatever, I have so many scars from when I was little on my knees, from like riding bikes and stuff like that, and falling and getting back up, and truly just acknowledging that no matter what your journey looks like, that it's going to look different than someone else's, but you can do the same thing as someone else. It just might look different in your life. So yeah, I mean, it has rolled into my passion with fitness and helped me not to have an excuse for everything, or at least lessen my excuses and really prove to myself. So it's like that wrestling of like proving to myself, proving to other people that I can do it. And now I'm like realizing that's kind of unhealthy. So it's like rebuilding kind of what I know or what I've known my whole life. So yeah.
So that's really interesting, because you said that your parents kind of let you go, where I can see I mean, I picture myself as a parent, and I would have the complete opposite mindset of like, oh no, have to protect them. But that worked in your favor.
Yeah.
Because you almost had this I have no limits mentality. So I want to talk about how that plays into your life today, and you as a personal trainer watch people hit their mental limits all the time.
Yeah.
What is that like for you to experience? Because you don't have those same mental limits, whereas other people would perceive that you have them.
Yeah.
Whereas you're trying to push people who don't have physical limitations, like break that wall.
Yeah. That's that's something I actually journal about very often, because I almost get mad sometimes in class when I'm teaching in person if someone's giving up. And I'm like, oh, no, you got it. But it has made me very confident to go over to them, and whether it's, hold them up in the position that we're doing, in the move that we're doing, or just champion them through it. And so it's like, yes, I'm pushing you to get into a lunge, but I'm also like making a big picture of it. So, I'm getting you into the move as well as motivating at the same time. So it has helped just put that into a bigger picture of, you got this, not just filling the empty space. No, you do have this. I will do it next to you. I will do it with you, just because your mind is telling you can't, but your body is still doing it. We start to lose form. We start to lose, little things like that. But it has really challenged me as an instructor, as a person, to not get mad at that person, but have more empathy of where they're at. Like they've never hit head first with a battle that they've had to. This is the first time they're getting challenged, or the first time that they feel that they want to show up in the best way possible. And it's almost like an honor to be their instructor, because it's like I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone. I can actually see people leaving their comfort zone and going, holy crap, I can't believe I just did that. And not that I look for that every class, but you can see it. Even if someone doesn't say it, you can see just the appreciation of an instructor, or the appreciation or the surprise that they give themselves, because they're like, whoa, I've never done that. The fitness world, we sometimes keep our clients in that comfort zone because they keep coming back. And I've talked with my boss about this, and it's like, I don't want to be the hardest instructor. That's not what I'm going for, but I want to challenge our clients. If you don't want to come to my class, like if you don't want to work, people won't come to my class. And I know that.
Yeah.
But my overall description, or I guess the way that I describe myself as an instructor, is to see where you're at and believe that there is something more for your life, whether it's mental, whether it's physical. Like all of my classes have a mental mindset, whether I'm talking, whether it's the song, whether it's whatever component. And because your mind, body, and soul, like that's so cliche, but it is so true. It's all together, and you can't leave one out. You can't be all about your mindset and then let your body go. Like it's all together. Yeah.
Wow. No, that's awesome. And I can say, like, from doing your Empowered program, that I've had some of those moments where I was just like, wait, I literally didn't know I could do that. And it's really rewarding when you hit that moment. So I want to talk about kind of getting in someone else's mind. And it could even be my mind, because you know where I'm at and where I put barriers in my head. But it's this whole thing, if you don't know what you don't know. So some people get afraid of that. But I want to ask you, what do you think is making people stop short and put limits on themselves physically?
I think it goes back to what I said about never coming like head on with a big challenge. And that can be loss, that can be grief, that can be anything emotional as well. If you've never experienced something that has challenged who you are as a person on this earth, or your purpose in life, it's very hard to see the other side. So same with a physical limitation, or a mindset, whether it's a hurt shoulder, whether it's a hurt hamstring, anything. I mean, I listen to so many podcasts, and I forget which one I was on, but it's like an injury, an ACL injury can go from a few months, it can go from a year, it can go to never. You never recover. And it's mindset.
Wow.
And so I think that it's a lot of things, environmental, it's family, it's friends, whatever. If we're constantly being coddled with our mindset, with our community, then we can't see, oh yeah, I can do that. But you watch videos, you see other people doing that thing, and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that. We kind of lack that bridge between seeing someone else doing it and what are the steps to get there. So we think it's a huge leap, and sometimes it's a baby step, or it's okay, I can't do a push-up, but maybe I can do it on my knees, and it's a little bit. Or I can't do a jumping, clapping, whatever, or I can't do a burpee, but you could do a plank and start there. And so it's breaking down, whether it's in a workout, whether it's in a journal prompt, whether it's whatever, breaking it down into smaller pieces to see that your journey might take longer to get to that end goal, but you're doing the necessary things to get there, even if it's small.
And you are getting there. Okay.
Yeah. And reaffirming that, like, believe it. That's something I say all the time when I teach. It's like, believe that you're there. Even if you're not there, even if you're not remotely close there, you're believing that you're there because you can envision how your life is going to be. And in the video I recorded today, it's like, don't be so futuristic, like be present, but also believe that your circumstances right now are not where you're staying. So just doing the daily little things to get to that piece.
So that's an interesting piece you bring up, because I want to know how you toe the line when it comes to envisioning versus body jealousy. So like you see someone on Instagram and you're just like, so jacked, I want to look like that. If that's what it is for somebody. And what's a healthy thing of like, man, I want to work my butt off and get that, versus this is not healthy. This is my obsession.
I do teeter the line because right now I look the best physically and feel the best overall than I have my whole entire life. And I've been an athlete. I ran track, I played soccer, and been through the hardest of training. And now that I love myself, which is very, very important, but I used to hide my arm. I wanted to look like everybody else. And until I realized that, one, God made me exactly the way that I am. And two, being unique is awesome. Whether it's your personality, whether it's something physical, whether it's your job, whatever makes you unique. Like, everybody has something that makes them unique. And I definitely wanted to look like certain people. And you want like a good legs and a flat belly, blah, 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 blah. I switched my mindset, to fill the people I was listening to, the podcasts I was listening to, the people I was following that focused on being healthy and feeling good in your body. And your training follows. So it's like you have to fuel yourself, fuel your body, and you'll train better. You'll feel more energized. And that took a long time because I always compared myself to my friends, or I always compared myself to people. Like, what? It was like, why don't I have another arm? Why can't I lift this way? Or why can't I use a barbell? My training had to be so different because I had a prosthetic and I had to use dumbbells and I had to do all these things. And so I had to just switch that little switch in my head, which was very gradual. It was not instant. And it probably took 3-ish years, maybe 4. And finding who I was in the gym, finding who I was as an instructor, and having the confidence to step out and not let fear hold me back, because it did for years.
Yeah. It makes me think of Zac Efron after he did Baywatch. In so many interviews afterwards, he was like, I will never do that again. Because he was like, holy cow, this is the most shredded human being ever. And he was like, it was unsustainable. I was in the gym 6 hours a day. And it's like, we don't think about that when we see photos of like, man, if I had this body, what? So very interesting perspective.
Yeah, it's not I mean, even bodybuilders, you cannot, I won't say cannot, but it's very, very hard, especially for women that go through that process to keep that low body percentage fat. Like, it's very, very hard. And your eating has to be so restricted. And there's just so many components that, especially on Instagram, the highlight reel thing, it's so true, because you don't see the mental battle people have. You don't see the, body dysmorphia. A lot of people in the fitness world have that. It's like, either they have a great story and they've transformed their body completely, or they don't see even the picture that they post the same that we would.
Yeah. So let's say that someone's at this point right now and they're just like, okay, well, now I feel like kind of convicted. I've been that way, and that's probably not realistic. What's a first step they can take to get a more healthy mindset about it?
I would, feel free to reach out to me, but I would find people on Instagram you truly, like, they look healthy, they're posting healthy stuff, whether it's quotes, mindset, whatever, and it feels genuine, because that will help, because we're always on our phone. So it's always the content you're seeing, as well as start so small. Like, one of my clients, she was very nervous starting Power 90. She was very nervous, and she had no idea what her body could do, like zero. She's like, I'm gonna do this first workout. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. And I said, make it 5 minutes. See how you feel in 5 minutes. That's it. I mean, the first 5 minutes is probably me talking, but after that, and start there. And it challenges, when we break it up, it challenges your mind to just do it. Whether it's a minute. Okay, let's see if I can do it for a minute. Let's see if I can do something. Find a 5-minute, 10-minute YouTube video, whatever, and start there. And also reach out if you see people that are in the fitness world and they're your friends or whatever, and you trust them. Reach out for help, because that is the best. I'm constantly learning and constantly talking to different instructors and people of all walks of life, because you don't know, everybody processes things different. So you don't know what works best for you, because it's going to be different than someone else. But you can take little nuggets from different people that you talk to and start small.
Do you think goals are an important piece of that, or can that very often derail people?
So my thing is, I love weekly goals and I love 1 or 2.
Okay.
And it can be something as small as, I want to make sure I eat breakfast every day. And that sounds like, oh yeah, I already do that. But some people we put ourselves into these cycles where we don't do that.
Yeah.
Or coffee's our breakfast or whatever. And then we notice certain things later in the day. Well, I'm snacking more, or I don't, I have a huge dinner because I'm starving by that time. And so little things like that, that's an example, but little goals, and being okay with setting a limit on it. Like, this is 1 week. Let's see if I can do it for 1 week. And that's it. Not saying like, oh, I want to do this for 7 months, or I want to do this for 75 days, or 100 days, or whatever. That is very overwhelming, especially now. I mean, we have so many things overwhelming us.
Sure.
That, keeping it small and doing one goal.
Yeah.
One goal.
It's interesting because I set 2 goals and like stipulation for what fitness would look like for me last year. And I read this book called Finish by Jon Acuff, and it talks about how to actually finish your goals. And one of the tactics he talks about in the book is literally cut your goal in half. So whatever you wanted to do, cut it in half, because guess what? One, you're going to achieve it, and then you're going to feel like an overachiever.
Yep.
Because you're going to surpass it.
Yeah.
And so I made my goal last year. I wanted to do like 300 workouts because I was like, oh man. Ugh. And then I was like, why don't we do 150? You know, then the pandemic happens and I hit like 180. So thank God I cut it in half. And this year I'm like, let's ratchet it up. Let's do 200. And I'm already at 80 today at the time of recording. Thank you. And then I set a stipulation of like, I need to burn, because I'm married to my Apple Watch, because it makes you just feel so accomplished.
I just got mine and I'm like...
Yes. And, but I set like the stipulation of like, I have to burn 150 calories for it to count as a workout, which to some people may sound ridiculous. But then I have friends like my friend that's a kickboxing, I can't talk. Kickboxing instructor. And she was like, oh girl, like you'll easily burn like 400 each through my classes. And I said, well, I'm not going to each of your classes every day. Okay. So, but you know, it's worked, and it's been interesting because it's like almost that bite-sized thing. Am I moving my body? Am I feeling good when I'm doing it? And am I seeing over the long haul, I am actually crawling closer to that goal every day.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like you surprise yourself in a sense? Like, how do you feel when you hit your goal? Like personally,
I'm so pumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing too, is it's different than a to-do list. It's a achievement list at that point for me. Because, I mean, especially I got all these mirrors here, if you can see. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, look at you. You know?
Look at that tricep.
Well, we do so much glutey cheeks workouts, as you call them, that I was just surprised at what has happened in the back here. So I kind of want you to challenge me right now, because I just want to be 100 with you, Deanna. You know that I've kind of have not a limiting view, 100% of myself ever since I injured my shoulders doing stunts almost 5 years ago now. And I haven't done things the same, and you've challenged me in that arena. And I am someone who I still think I'm 18. Like, I still think my body should work like an 18-year-old. Yeah. And I'm not. I'm 29, on my way to 30. Woo. And this weekend I was playing spike ball with my siblings, and literally my knee got so
swollen,
spastic that I literally was like, I cannot play spike ball anymore. I actually, we played can jam after, and I was like, I can't play can jam anymore. And it was just like, I literally started crying. I was so frustrated with myself, and I was like, you aren't supposed to be doing this. I'm not 80. So what would you say to people who get injuries, period, and they're so scared to keep moving forward because they're like, I always hurt myself. I always do this, blah, blah, blah. Just go for it.
I would, first thing is add more recovery and take back your workouts and add more stretching, whether it's daily, whether it's 3 times, 4 times a week. And I mean, that's for you personally.
No, 100.
But
yeah,
I believe that less is more, especially with working out. And you can achieve so much with a walk outside. I mean, especially in Mount Washington. Yes. There's hills everywhere.
Yeah.
And adding more stretching, because when our body feels it's on the brink of an injury, or we tense up immediately. And so it seems like it's worse. And it seems like it's worse, and then our mindset goes, well, I've hurt my shoulder before, and I felt something similar, so I'm done. And that's where that limit, you know, it was probably good that you stopped, but it's adding that thing daily or week, you know, a few times a week to add to it, as well as be proud because you're feeling how you're in your body. A lot of people get hurt or have been hurt for months and don't know until they go to the doctor. I'm like, huh? What? How does that happen? So I would be excited that your pain response and that mind-body connection is there. That body awareness is there.
Perspective. Yeah.
And that is something so important. It's like, okay, I know I'm raising my hand right now. Like, I have body awareness that I'm doing that. But are you actually feeling like my shoulder? Oh, my shoulder feels a little tight. Oh, I can do that, but it doesn't feel, the greatest. Well, what can I do? I know it's not supposed to feel like that. Can I add mobility? Can I add stretching? Can I add isolation movements? What can I do? Or, a lot of people don't want to go that extra step, but peeling it back and just being proud of your body for that connection.
So if someone has this fear because they've gotten injured before, what would you say when you're in that moment when you want to get back into it, but your mind's like, but what if you get hurt? How do you help people navigate that mindset?
Whew, it's very, that is a very big idea.
Yeah.
Because everybody's pain response is different. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. But going in with, I'm going to do the best that I can in this moment. And whether I feel a little bit of pain, I know how I'm going to recover after. And also, an injury is not the end of the world. As much.
Say it again.
As much as we want to be perfect.
Yeah.
We know that our body can do this. We know that, I know that I can do a push-up. I know that I can do a plank. I know that I blah, blah, blah. And we want to be there. And we get so stuck on our past. We get so stuck on our ability that we don't fall in love with where we're at now. And when you get to be 40, 50, yes, you can still work out for sure. You can be in better shape when you're 40, 50 than you are now.
Sure.
And so that, I think it's just the processes and the different seasons your body goes through and your mind as well. And so jumping into it saying, I'm going to give it 10 minutes of all out effort. However I feel after, we'll deal with later. And not pushing it off like I don't care about it, but getting that break in your mindset of, well, if I go 15 minutes, I'm gonna hurt. I'm gonna feel very hurt. You have no idea.
Yes.
You have no clue. And so pulling it back, I'm gonna do 10 minutes all out. If I'm sore and I can't work out for the rest of the week, I'm still gonna go on a walk or whatever. Still keeping that, being aware of how your body feels, but also, is it your mind or is it your actual body? Because our mind can make us feel like we're hurt and we're not.
Yeah.
Too. And, your food has a lot to do with it and, whole health side of that.
Yes.
But yeah, your mindset, I've noticed myself that when I break things down, I've started to do, if I know that I have to do laundry, I hate doing laundry, and I'll be like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go do it. Like if I don't
Mel
do
Robbins
it,
5-second rule.
Like if I do not do it in that moment, it'll never get done. And so committing that even to fitness, I'm gonna go on a walk. Oh, it's like it's beautiful today, but it's not nice outside. Well, you're gonna let that excuse stop you from that little goal that you have.
Yeah.
Those little things that break it down for your mindset to believe in your head that you can and your body follows, or vice versa.
That's really good. And I'm clearly in that space. Like right now. Like I'm just like, well, can't do all the jumping today because my freaking knee. But I'm going to go for a walk after this. Good. So thank you.
Yeah, and modifications. We think modifications are weaknesses. And that can, modifications physically, emotionally, whatever. Like tied to therapy. We think therapy is a weakness. Because it's not everybody does it.
Yes.
Or whatever. Like, oh, I'm different because I go to therapy.
Yeah.
Or physically, oh, well, I have to wear a prosthetic sometimes. That doesn't make me any weaker than anybody else. It just is different. It's a different approach. Everybody's approach is different to your path in life and being okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another interesting on like misnomers or misconceptions that people have, for sure, modifications has that stigma. What about people who are just like, if I'm not sweating, it doesn't count? What do you say to that?
You're gonna have me like kicking the camera.
Set her up.
Newsflash, you don't have to sweat. I could count on one hand in the past 2 months how many times I've sweat.
Really?
Hardcore in a workout.
You have
Yes.
a gland problem? No, I'm just kidding.
But I'm not trying to achieve that. I know my heart works. I know that works.
Yes.
But when you're adding strength components, when you're going on a walk, okay, let me take that back. When you're outside and it's hot as HE double hockey sticks, you're gonna sweat.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
But if you're indoors and you're at a gym and you're lifting weights and whatever, like, your goal should not be to completely sweat. You know?
Yeah.
If you're high cardio, like, yeah, you're gonna sweat more. But I like breaking things down. I like isolating. I'm very much in like slow twitch muscle as well as fast. So like going back and forth. And with slow twitch, like, you might have 3 drops of sweat.
Yeah.
Because you're isolating, you're taking things slower, you're using sliders or gliders on your carpet, or, you know, if you're with me in person, you're using a machine. But it's a whole different way to train, and it challenges your mindset even more because you're holding a position for 2 minutes rather than busting out 100 lunges.
Yeah.
And so if your body feels strong and if your body feels great, like, your mindset's going to feel great even if you do a 5-minute workout. And because you're taking your mind off of your to-do list in your world and putting it on, how do I feel right now in this moment?
Yeah.
Do I feel upset? Do I feel sad? Do I feel happy? Do I feel joyful? You can have that little conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes people like lose themselves in a workout, and they just, you know, you need the music. You want to listen to the music and sing and whatever. But that music is a correlation with your emotion too. Like, if it's a pumped up, you know, whatever, you're going to feel like a boss.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole thing altogether, working mind, body, soul connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, by the way, Deanna's shredded. So you don't need to sweat your way to looking like your best self, you know? And I want to know, most people would think I should ask this at the beginning, but I don't want to, because I want to know now, after hearing all this, how you even became interested in fitness and how that's become your passion in life.
Yeah, there's a whole long, big story that I'm going to try and keep short. But so, I mean, I was an athlete in high school. I ran track and played soccer. When I got into college, I was a double major, and I was like, no way can I do anything but school. And so I'll still play soccer here and there. Newsflash, I wasn't that great. I would not say that back then, but now I will.
We've humbled ourselves.
We've came a long way. And so I was like, I don't want to gain the freshman 15. That was like my whole
That was
thing.
your one goal.
Yeah, my
Okay.
one goal. And I started with a nutrition company, and I was doing like a little challenge with them. That actually led into me going to church and going to Amplify. And so it was literally a whole thing. I had to say no to drinking on like the weekends and stuff because I couldn't drink on this challenge. And so it was just really cool how it all flowed together. It was like, yes, I want to be healthy. Yes, I have to be healthy because I committed to this challenge.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I'm not clouding my brain by drinking and partying and stuff. So I really honed in on that. From there, I was on campus those 2 years, so I couldn't really do much besides work out in the gym there. And then once I moved off campus, I started working at this little tiny gym in Scotts Township where like 2 people came to my spin classes. And I got out of my comfort zone because I realized that I was intimidated to go into the gym with all the guys in the weight room and everything, like I would literally stay away. I would be like, I'm gonna take my dumbbells in the corner and I'm just gonna do my workout. And then, you know, as I got more confident, I was like, I'm gonna watch 900 YouTube videos on how to use the Smith machine, and I'm gonna start, you know, using a squat.
Wow.
Like, it was all about more, I love information, so it was a lot of, I want to know how to do this, make sure I'm doing it correctly, and go from there. And so that led to me being more comfortable just moving my body in general, but also wearing tank tops, not caring, wearing shorts, whatever. And that gave me the confidence to then try out or audition at Steel Revolution.
Okay.
And
Which is a
spin studio.
Okay.
And I taught there for about a little over a year. And during that, that was like a real deal, not like the little studio, but it was, you know, you had a bunch of people in class, you had 20 some bikes, and just feeding off the energy in there, as well as having community, really helped. And to acknowledge that, like, even if I do mess up, it's not because of my arm. Like, that was a lie that I believed for so long. It's like, oh, if I mess up, people are going to say I'm inadequate, or people are going to think I'm inadequate. And I think that's like, whether it's your weight, whether it's your mindset that you think you want to change, whether it is your job, whatever, like we equate our mistakes with like our inadequacy. And we believe the lie that, well, I'm not good enough if I do this, or if they see me be vulnerable, you know, I'm this. We constantly have that cycle, and that's at least what I had. So that, becoming an instructor through there, it's like 20 people are looking at you for direction. They're looking at you.
Yeah.
You can't hide behind a curtain,
Wow.
nothing. And that stepped me into the instructor I am now. And I had the confidence to reach out to Ramp and Rise and apply. And literally in the interview, I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to show these moves. Like, any planks, like, what am I going to do? And she's like, we'll figure it out. She's like, well, don't worry about it.
We need to stop there,
Yep.
because this is the theme throughout your whole life, is you have found a workaround.
Yep.
Like, you're literally at the gym. I would have never thought to look up YouTube how to use this machine.
Yep.
Like, this is what's so impressive about you, is that you have gotten where you are. I mean, now this is literally how you make a living,
Yep.
is by doing this.
Yep.
And it's because you found a workaround in every sphere to be like, that's not stopping me. I
Yep.
don't care. Here's how we're going to keep going. Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, and even just, there's two sides to that. There's that side of, like, yes, not having an excuse and figuring it all out, and then also wanting to be so good at something, so if I do mess up, people don't look at me for my arm. That was like a lot of it. Like, I love information and I love being right. But also acknowledging that it's okay. Like, people are not gonna say, like, oh, she can't do that because of her arm. Like, no, that was something that I was like, that's what they're gonna think. Like, that's what people see when they first see me. Of course, that's what they're gonna say. And so a lot of it was having great people surrounding me, pushing me out of my comfort zone as well.
Wow.
And it's like, no, your personality is awesome. We do not care what it takes for you to be an instructor.
Yeah.
But we're going to make it happen. And I will forever be thankful for Joy for that.
Yeah.
Because I had so many people in the fitness world, like, oh, like, they're from Cal, you know, all the stigma. Like, like, I don't know if you should go teach there. And if I would have listened to them, I would not be where I am right now.
Come on.
At all.
Yes.
And so really believing that I didn't want to be like everybody else. I love being unique now. And I mean, I'm the, you know, one of the only ones out in this area that goes all the way to Swickley to teach.
Yeah.
And not that I'm being prideful about that, but I saw the value in it. And that's something too that's really me, as being Deanna, finding the value in the people, even if they don't know it themselves.
Love that.
As well.
Love that. And everything you're doing it afraid. And yet, that's not
Yeah.
stopping you. Like, I mean, what a crazy thing to be like, I went to this audition literally having no idea how am I actually going to do this.
Yep.
But you still went.
Yep.
And look how it literally changed your life.
Literally. And same with Empowered. Like the week before I launched, I had no idea what I was going to do.
I was just going to say,
I had no idea.
but it's such a beautiful picture because it's so inspiring. You literally said, imposter syndrome, I'll punch you right in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I'm not prepared. I'm going to do it anyways. But you need to tell people what Empowered is.
Yes. So it is an online platform that is pretty much all we're talking about. It's daily journal prompts, daily workouts, and check-ins with me, one-on-one, and really just the overall mind, body, soul, and just being proud of yourself, being excited to do something out of your comfort zone, do something different, and keep it fun and have a community.
Yes.
And I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm just thankful that the people that entrusted me to be their coach and are people that love me as well. So it's like, oh, if I screw up, it's like not some random person from like Kansas. Yeah. It's like people that believe in me. Yeah. And so just being through, Power 30, now Power 90, and learning the kinks, what works, what doesn't, what is like, holy crap, I'm never doing that again, and what was valuable.
Yeah.
And being okay with being real. Like, I've had to be real so many times during this whole Power 90 journey because things come up. You have no idea. Sometimes something doesn't get uploaded. Sometimes like YouTube hates me and very much so. Copyright.
Watch them copyright this episode. They'll be like, no, it's her face. Get her down.
Deanna, get out of here. And so, yeah, just learning through the challenges there.
Yeah.
And being okay with it not being perfect because it's probably going to be, maybe 2 more years or a year until it's perfect or it's just running.
Yeah.
And so, and it maybe something else different happens with it. I don't know. But being open to kind of any possible way,
Love it.
Having an idea, but also going with the flow.
Love it. No, this is a really important concept you're talking about right now. And this is something I try and push in every possible episode where I talk about it because I learned this concept by Pastor Craig Rochelle, and it's called GETMO, good enough to move on. And in my current job, in the past 12 months, I created 300 pieces of video content. That's insane. By all metrics. And the only reason I did it is because I wasn't afraid of being unpolished. Because how else are you going to learn if you can only learn so much by staring at a screen and reading a book?
Yeah.
The most knowledge comes from actually doing it, right? And so I was just like, it literally just the compound interest of how much I learned by doing it, and you doing the same thing because you're like, yeah, I did it. Now I learned so much more, and I'm going at such a faster rate than I would have just sitting back, strategizing. Here's my business plan, A to Z. Okay, now it's all figured out. I know where we're going, and big N. It's never going to happen that way anyways.
And people always have something to say.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Whether it's out of, you never know people's intention.
Right. Right.
But whether it's jealousy, whether it's, why did they do that? Like,
yes.
Or, you are you. Mm-hmm. And your videos are quirky.
Hello.
But it's you. Like, you're portraying you.
Yes.
Because it's real.
Yeah.
And you're not following a script. You're not looking at, oh, wait, what was I supposed to say?
Right.
And just like you said, it's so unpolished. And that's when people really feel connected to you.
Same thing here. I literally was like, here's the title. Okay, turn the camera on.
Yep.
Go.
And I could talk forever, so.
It didn't really take much to get Deanna to talk in here today. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so if you're, whether it's working out, whether it's something you've been sitting on in life, just freaking start.
Yeah.
Just start. Just find the first step you need to take and take it.
And tell people that you trust what you're thinking of. Maybe it's like 2 people. And this is something that I think I sent today in Power 90. Like, get the people and be real with some of your people that you trust, because like God is blessing them or even speaking to them and you don't even realize it. And they're like waiting, you know, whether they know it or not, they're waiting to help you financially. They're waiting to give you that wisdom that you needed. And all of those little things, it's like you have to trust others.
Yes.
Yeah, people are imperfect and make mistakes and everything, but getting outside of just you and holding everything and strangling it and really just letting things beautifully come together.
Yeah, I mean, I want to shout out, because it'll be out by the time this airs, is my episode with Candace Collins where we talked about how to support friends who you're competing against, because it's all in the same sphere, and how really if you leave something in your head, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I have found 100% of the time, once I have shared a dream or desire with somebody else, people start figuring out how what they're doing in life can help you.
Yep.
And it's amazing. It's just like that was never the goal or intention. It's just people want to help people.
Yep.
There's an intrinsic desire we have. Yeah.
There's also, that's a sense of maturity too, because when you don't see someone else, even if they're very close in what you're doing, as a threat, and you're like, oh, well, I can utilize them. Or anytime someone's like, oh, I'm looking for a new job and I like to do this. And it's like, oh, I know like 3 people I can message.
Yes.
You know, when you
Yes.
think like that, it's constantly bettering your community. It's bettering your friend group. And you're going to essentially I hate that, like be better, but you're going to naturally elevate a little bit more because you're equipping everybody around you as well.
Yes.
And you're constantly sharing ideas and sharing things and to do and what your next steps are. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. Like constantly dreaming, constantly thinking of ideas.
Yes. Yeah. No, I love that so much. I could talk about this subject all day because it's you mentioned there's people that are going to say stuff. Those people don't need to hold the mic in your life. You could be like, thank you, pull the plug. Okay?
Bye.
Because they can have a different opinion, fine. But it doesn't need to impact what you're doing because it's your decision and it's your life and it's your dream. Yep. Oh, I'm on the settle it down now. Yeah, no, but Deanna, I love this conversation and I love supporting you because you inspire me, especially because you out here. I'm, struggling to do a push-up. She's doing a 1-arm push-up. She's like, not a problem today, baby.
Like, I'm gonna be sore as heck tomorrow,
but at least I flex for.
At least I'm doing it.
Yes. So where can people find you?
On Instagram, at Deanna_Dicesere, I think.
All right. I'll put it in the show notes. And is there going to be another Power 90 empowered round?
I would say most likely going to be a Power 30 coming up for the fall.
Which is essentially, because I don't know if you mentioned it, but
I didn't talk about it.
So it's video workouts. So you said something, you said it helps people get out of their comfort zone. Here's what I'd say. I think should be the tagline. Get out of your comfort zone in your comfort zone. Because you don't need to go to the gym. Yep. You can do it right here in your house.
Right here. And
you just need some little baby weights, which, by the way, are on sale once again. You can find them at Marshall's. That's where I got mine. And it's awesome. And
it's 30 days. 30 days, daily journal.
Half-hour workouts.
Yep.
And then stretching twice a week, which Lord knows I need because I never stretch.
Yeah. So the workouts change every day. They're the same schedule.
Sequence every week,
2 days implemented, 1 mobility, 1 stretch. Yeah, to make that more important. In the videos, you can always go back and do a different one, or if you need more stretching, you can do something different.
But the cool thing is, Deanna makes them. So she's constructing the full workout, so she knows everything, and then she checks in on you too. So it's an accountability thing, which you don't get at a regular gym. So that's what I love about it.
Yep, and then there's sometimes special guests too.
Yes, we love special guests.
Special guests, including Shiloh.
Well, so people need to follow you
Follow me
to see when there's updates on that next one.
Yeah, because it'll definitely be on my personal before anything. So I usually prelude and then send it to Empowered.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a rewarding conversation.
It's been great.
I love you.
And
I can't wait to sweat with you later today on camera. Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. bye.
Let's hit some takeaways, which I feel like are all just one-liners that were dropped during this episode. I just love Deanna's mind so much. Number one, how she talked about love yourself right where you are right now because being unique is actually awesome. Number two, the focus should always be on being healthy and feeling good, not a numerical goal on a scale. Number three, less is more with a workout. That hit me because I've always been in the camp of thinking that if I'm not sweating, it doesn't count. But she changed my mind today. Don't worry. Number four, I loved this perspective flip that she had when she said, if your body starts to feel pain, you should actually start to be grateful that you have the mind-body awareness to recognize it as pain instead of overdoing it and causing further injury. Which leads us to takeaway number five. When you have the thought, but what if I get hurt? Focus on doing the best that you can in that exact moment. Because an injury is not the end of the world. Number six, sometimes your mind has to decide what's going to happen first, and then your body will follow. And I love that point that she brought up because it made me think, hey, you will be strong enough today. If you're believing it up here, will I be strong today? Yeah, I think you are. In fact, there's a Bible verse that can back that up. It's Deuteronomy 33:25, which says, as your days are, so shall your strength be. Woo, okay. Modifications are not a weakness. And just this theme of do it anyways that happened really throughout the conversation. Be okay with something not being perfect. Just do it anyways. And I'll put the links to Deanna's Instagram and her Empowered Fitness program down below so you can catch her in both of those. We have more fun conversations in the pipeline, including the next one, which is how to become more disciplined. Oh boy, don't we all need more of that. Hey, if you liked today's conversation, I'm gonna bet you're gonna like this one too, because we talked about mind-body awareness today. Well, the mental piece we talk about more in here, which is how to become more self-aware. So click the link here and I'll see you in that next video.